September 30th, 1888, 1:44 a.m. A woman's body lies in a courtyard, still warm. The killer hears footsteps. He has maybe 12 seconds. Most murderers would run. This one walks 400 yards down the street and kills again. Same night. 14 minutes later, a second woman, dead. 3 days after that, a letter arrives at the police station. It describes both murders. Details only the killer could know, and it's signed with a name that will haunt history. Jack the Ripper. 5 women dead, hundreds of suspects, thousands of theories. But here's what nobody teaches you about the world's most famous serial killer. He was never supposed to matter. London, 1888. The largest city on Earth. 7 million people crammed into a metropolis where Jack the Ripper could be anyone. But he wasn't hunting in Mayfair or Westminster. He chose Whitechapel, 1 square mile in East London, where 1,200 people shared a single toilet, where women sold their bodies for 4 pence, the price of a bed for the night. This wasn't a place the police cared about. 80,000 prostitutes worked London streets. Violence was background noise. Women disappeared all the time. Nobody looked. Until August 31st, 1888. Marianne Nichols, 43 years old, drunk, desperate for rent money. 3:40 a.m., she's seen talking to a man on Bucks Row. At 3:45 a.m., a cart driver finds her body. Throat cut so deep it reached her spine. But that's not what made the police stop. Her abdomen had been opened, carefully, methodically. The cuts suggested someone with surgical knowledge, someone who knew anatomy. 1 week later, Annie Chapman, another prostitute, another early morning. This time, the killer took something with him, her uterus, removed with precision. The press exploded. This wasn't random street violence anymore. This was something London had never seen. A killer with a pattern, a purpose, and the city descended into panic. Here's the thing about Jack the Ripper that gets lost in the legend. He wasn't a criminal mastermind. He was invisible. Blood on his clothes? Normal in Whitechapel. Butchers, slaughterhouse workers, doctors. Out at night? So were thousands of laborers, cabbies, night soil men. Talking to prostitutes? That was half of London. The Ripper didn't hide from society. He hid inside it. And then, on September 27th, something changed. A journalist at the Central News Agency opened his mail. The letter started, "Dear Boss," and it was signed, Jack the Ripper. He'd given himself a name. The letter was mocking, playful. He called the murders "my work," joked about using red ink next time. The police thought it was a hoax. Journalists faking letters for sales was common. But 3 days later, the double murder happened. Elizabeth Stride, 1 a.m. Throat cut, but interrupted before mutilation. Catherine Eddowes, 1:44 a.m. Not interrupted. Her face was mutilated, her kidney removed. And the killer left something new behind, a message in chalk, written on a wall near the body, a cryptic sentence about blame and religion. The police commissioner ordered it erased before dawn, afraid it would start riots. The only clue that might have meant something destroyed to keep the peace. Then, another letter arrived, postmarked the day after the double murder. This one came in a small box. Inside, half a human kidney. The letter said he'd fried and eaten the other half. Medical experts confirmed it could be Catherine Eddowes' missing kidney. Could be. This is where the Ripper became something more than a murderer. He became a story, a brand, a media phenomenon. Newspapers sold out within hours. The letters were printed and reprinted. Copycats sent hundreds of fake letters. The police couldn't tell real from fiction. Vigilante groups formed. Mobs attacked suspects in the streets. One man, John Pizer, was beaten so badly he nearly died. He was innocent. The investigation became chaos. 80 suspects, dozens of false confessions. The police interviewed butchers, doctors, sailors, anyone with medical knowledge. They had theories, A Jewish butcher, a midwife, a royal physician. But here's the truth about the investigation. They were looking for a monster, and monsters stand out. Jack the Ripper wasn't a monster. He was ordinary. He looked like everyone else, talked like everyone else, lived like everyone else. The women went with him willingly. That's what the evidence suggests. No signs of struggle before the kill. No screams heard. No witnesses to the approach. He was someone they didn't fear until it was too late. And then, November 9th, 1888, the kill that ended everything. Mary Jane Kelly, 25 years old, the youngest victim. She had her own room, a rare luxury in Whitechapel. 10:45 a.m., her landlord breaks down the door. She's 6 weeks behind on rent. What he found changed him forever. The Ripper had spent hours with her, time he'd never had before. The mutilation was so extensive the police photographer vomited. This wasn't a killing. It was obliteration. And after Mary Jane Kelly, silence. No more murders, no more letters, no goodbye. The Ripper just stopped. Or did he? This is where it gets uncomfortable. The police had no forensics, no fingerprints, no DNA, no cameras. Their best tool was witness testimony. And in Whitechapel, nobody wanted to talk to the police. Immigrants feared deportation. Prostitutes feared arrest. The poor feared everyone. The few witnesses who came forward gave conflicting descriptions. One said he was tall. Another said short, young, old, foreign, local. The only consistency? He looked normal. But there's another reason the investigation failed. The police didn't actually want to solve it. Not because they were lazy, because they were terrified of the answer. What if the killer was one of them? Think about it. The murders happened in a tiny area, 1 square mile. Multiple police patrols, beat cops every few blocks. The Ripper killed, mutilated, and vanished in minutes. No blood trail, no witnesses, never caught in the act. That level of confidence, that knowledge of patrol patterns. Some investigators believed he had to be local law enforcement, or medical personnel, or connected to power. The suspects ranged from Queen Victoria's physician to a Polish immigrant barber, rich and poor, powerful and invisible. But here's what they all had in common. They were men who could walk through Whitechapel at night without question. Men who could talk to prostitutes without suspicion. Men who understood that in Whitechapel, nobody mattered. And the women he killed, they proved him right. Here's what history doesn't tell you about Jack the Ripper. He didn't invent serial killing. He weaponized media. Before the Ripper, murders were local news. After him, they became entertainment. The letters, the name, the mystique. It was all performance. And we're still watching. Over 100 books, dozens of films, endless theories. We've turned him into a puzzle to solve, a game to play. But the real horror isn't the mystery of who he was. It's that we forgot the women. Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, Mary Jane Kelly. They weren't just victims. They were survivors of poverty, abuse, alcoholism, women who had children, families, dreams that died long before the Ripper found them. Society killed them first. The Ripper just made it literal. And here's the part that should terrify you. He got exactly what he wanted. Immortality, infamy, a legacy that erased his victims and elevated him. We know his name. Do you know theirs? That's his final victory. So why did he stop? Maybe he died. Disease was rampant. Life expectancy was 40. Maybe he was institutionalized. Asylums were full of violent men. Maybe he moved, sailed to America, disappeared into the slums of another city. Or maybe he just went back to normal life, got married, had children, died peacefully in his sleep. That's the possibility that keeps criminologists awake, that he wasn't compelled. He was in control. And when he decided he was done, he just stopped. Jack the Ripper taught us something we still haven't learned. The scariest monsters don't look like monsters. They look like everyone else. They have jobs, neighbors, Routines? They walk past you on the street, sit next to you on the train, and you'd never know. In 1888, one man proved that invisibility is the perfect disguise, that in a city of millions, you can do anything as long as your victims don't matter. 136 years later, we're still trying to put a face to the name, still trying to solve the puzzle, still giving him exactly what he wanted. Jack the Ripper was never caught. But maybe that's not the question we should be asking. Maybe we should be asking, how many others learned from him?